ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear children, I hope you all are doing well. Today I want to share with you part 3 of the story of Musa alayhi salam. So if you remember, part 1 was what about? It was about when he was a baby. Part 2 was about that he grew up as a young man and he did something which he was very regretful about. He did something very terrible. And because of that he had to leave Egypt and he went to a place by the name of Madian, where he met 2 women and eventually he married one of them, and he was hired by their father to take care of their animals for 10 years. So now we're talking about the story of Musa alayhi salam after that. What happened after that? So as we all know, that he was still a prophet, right? He is a prophet. And that means that a prophet is just not going to live there in Madian and just take care of bills and take care of, children or take care of his wife and the animals. There's a higher purpose. There's a higher job, a much bigger job for the prophets. And that is to call people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what happens is that one day Musa alayhi salam, he is traveling with his family. And he says to his family that why don't you stay over here? Let me perhaps go and find some fire for us. It's so dark. And the only way that we can get through this is if I go and I find some fire. So Musa alayhi salam tells his family to stay over there and he leaves. And he's going far away to go and look for some fire. Because see, if Musa alayhi salam told his wife that you come along with me too, then that might put some hardship on his wife. In fact, some books of history do mention that perhaps she may have been pregnant at that time too. So telling her to walk that much, it'd be very difficult. It'd be very hard for her. So nonetheless, Musa alayhi salam, he is searching. He comes to a mountain and he sees from far, oh, I see a fire. It's on the mountain. He goes, okay, let me go there and let me get the fire. Now, as he climbs up and he gets all the way to the fire, it is mentioned that there was a voice. Yeah, a voice that came from the fire. And he says, and it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, do not ever think that Allah is that fire, okay? But this is where the fire was, and here Musa alayhi salam, he's hearing this voice. Not exactly from the fire, but he hears a voice over there. So what happens is that Musa alayhi salam, he's looking around, he's like, where is this voice coming from? And the voice says, Ana rabbuka fakhla'na alayk. That take off your shoes, sit down and listen. So once again, there's a fire. The voice is not coming from the fire. There's a voice that's coming and is telling Musa, take off your shoes and sit down. I have a very important message for you. And then the very first thing that he says that أَنَا رَبُّكَ فَخْلَعْنَا عَلَيْكَ إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى. The Quran says that this voice, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Musa that I have chosen you very specially. You are a very special selection. So listen to me very carefully what I'm about to say to you. So then he's listening very carefully. وَأَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ فَاسْتَمِعْ لِمَا يُوحَى. What is the very first thing that Allah said to Musa? He says, إِنَّنِي أَنَا اللَّهُ. I am Allah. Okay? You need to understand, I am Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدْنِي. And because I am Allah, you are never to worship anyone except for me. Okay, so this voice is telling Musa alayhi salam that I am Allah, you have to worship me, فَاعْبُدْنِي وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي. And you will pray your salat so that you can remember me. So now Musa alayhi salam, once again, he has gone to go look for fire. He sees fire in a mountain. He gets to that fire. He hears a voice. This is Allah. And I have chosen you as a prophet, and now your job is to what? You're going to go and you're going to give da'wah and you're going to call Pharaoh to Allah. But at the same time, I'm sure you all have heard this word called miracles, right? You know what a miracle is? A miracle is something given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the prophets and to the anbiya that no one else can do. So what did he do? And as you can see, the stick next to me here, okay, the stick. Why do I have this stick? Because Musa had a stick in his hand too. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Musa, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa. Musa, what is that in your hand? And Musa says, well, this is a stick. And he says, أَتَوَكَّأُ عَلَيْهَا. I lean against this stick. وَأَهُشُّ بِهَا عَلَى غَنَمِي. And when I have my animals together, to get them together sometimes, long time ago, they would use sticks and they would get the animals together. So I take care of my animals, my herd this way. And not only that, وَلِيَ فِيهَا مَآرِبُ أُخْرَى. And I use this stick for many other things. Okay? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam, He says, أَلْقِهَا يَا Musa. Okay, take the stick, Musa, and put it on the ground. And so Musa alayhi salam said, okay. So he took that stick and he put it on the ground. And what did it become? فَأَلْقَاهَا. He put it on the ground. فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. And it became a snake. Now I know a lot of you, including myself, I'm very terrified of snakes. And I'm sure a lot of you are terrified of snakes too. Because these are animals that you have no idea. They can bite. They are sometimes very poisonous too. They can kill human beings. And sometimes, there are snakes that are so big that they can sometimes squeeze a person. They can eat big animals and so forth. So snakes are something that a lot of times we see a snake, we run away. So here the Quran says, فَأَلْقَاهَا فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى. That he put this stick on the ground, it turned into a snake, but the snake was moving really fast. Now when a snake is moving really fast, what happens is that as a human being you become terrified. Oh my God, you start running away, right? So Musa alayhi salam gets afraid. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَأَلْقَاهَا فَإِذَا هِيَ حَيَّةٌ تَسْعَى قَالَ خُذْهَا وَلَا تَخَفْ. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at Musa. Musa is like scared. Like, oh my God, I want to be far away from the snake. And Allah says that خُذْهَا وَلَا تَخَفْ. Grab it. Now he's like, what do you mean grab it? Like grab it and what? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that وَلَا تَخَفْ. Do not be afraid. Now Musa was like, okay, I'm so afraid. How am I going to go get the snake? Okay. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيرَتَهَا الْأُولَى. As soon as you put your hand on the snake to grab it, we'll turn it back into a what? A stick. Okay? We'll turn it into a stick. And so Musa alayhi salam said, okay, fine. So he went to the snake very, very carefully and he grabbed the snake. And as soon as he grabbed the snake, it turned it again into a stick. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Musa, the second miracle I'm going to give you is وَضْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ. Put your hand under your arm. تَخْرُجَ. Okay, take it out. Okay, تَخْرُجَ بَيْضَاءَ مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ آيَةً أُخْرَى. This hand of yours will become like a torch in a light. Okay, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave these two miracles to Musa alayhi salam. Now once again, what is a miracle? Something given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it was given only to the Prophet. These are certain things and abilities that they were given. Like for example, even in the story of Isa alayhi salam, we find that he was given miracles too. What was his miracles? That if he saw a person that had like a skin disease, he could just simply spread his hand over that area and it would become fine. He could take dirt and he would mold it and shape it into a bird and blow into it and it would turn into a bird and it would fly away. So this is called miracles. So many prophets were given different miracles. The miracle of Musa alayhi salam is that he would put his stick on the ground and it would turn it into this serpent. Okay, a great serpent. And whenever he would touch it again, it would turn into a stick again. And not only that, but he also put his hand under his arm and it would become like a torch. So now Musa alayhi salam, he goes back to Pharaoh. Now Allah also said to Musa that I'm not just giving you these two things so that you can go back home. Nuh-uh. Now you gotta go. اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Now your job has just started. Okay? Remember, I chose you. So now you have to go and call Pharaoh to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So now remember, kids, what did Musa do? You remember what Musa did? You remember? Yeah, he killed that man. In our previous segment, he killed that man. Unintentionally, it was done by mistake, but he killed that man. And Pharaoh has not forgotten. Now Musa is thinking like, oh my God, like if I go back to Pharaoh, what will Pharaoh do to me? Like Pharaoh may arrest me. Pharaoh may hurt me. He may torture me. He may do something to me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do not worry about that. You just go. When you go to Pharaoh, talk to him very nicely first. Okay, you want to talk to him very nicely. And not only that, but call him to Allah. Now Musa was like, oh Allah, first of all, I have this stuttering. I'm a stutterer. Meaning that I stutter when I talk. I'm not very clean in my speech. And so when I try to talk to Pharaoh, Pharaoh may not even listen to me. So he made dua to Allah. And what was that dua? Rabbi shrah li sadri. Oh Allah, expand my chest. Wa yassir li amri. And make my matter upon me easy. Make this matter of going and inviting Pharaoh and so forth, make it easy upon me. Wahlul uqdatam min lisani. This lock that I have on my tongue, that I'm not able to talk very clearly, okay, and very cleanly, remove this lock from my heart. Yafqahu qawli, so that when he listens, he can understand what I'm trying to say. And then he says, وَجَعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِّنْ أَهْلِي. He also made dua to Allah for help. Now Musa alayhi salam is being sent to Pharaoh, and he's saying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I need help. I cannot go and do this by myself. This is a very big job. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, fine. You want help? He says, Haruna akhi. So Musa alayhi salam says, Haruna akhi. وَجَعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِّنْ أَهْلِي Haruna akhi. So first of all, I want some help. But I want some help from my own family members. I don't want a stranger to work with. Why? Because you don't even know who the stranger is. I have to get to know that stranger, and then we'll get to, slowly we'll become friends, and then I'll get to learn about that person. I don't want that. I want someone from my own family that I know who they are, and I'm very comfortable around them. So he even said, Harun akhi, brother Harun, ushdud bihi azri, like why don't you send him with me? Kay nusabbihaka kathira, that both of us together, we will remember you. It will make your dhikr, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will remember you and we will take your name. Kay nusabbihaka kathira wa nadhkuraka kathira, and we will make your mention, and we will mention about you to other people too, and we will do this a lot. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, fine, Musa, if you want help and you want your brother, okay, fine, we'll make your brother a prophet too. So not only was Musa a prophet, Harun, his brother, was also a prophet too. And they both went, and Allah gave both of them the instruction. Told both of them, when you go to Pharaoh, be very calm. Okay, don't be very calm. Now when he came to Pharaoh, what happened at that time was, now Musa is thinking, oh my God, he's going to remember that I killed that guy. What's going to happen? And so he goes in front of Pharaoh. And guess what? Pharaoh remembered. And he says, Musa, hey, aren't you that same guy? وَفَعَلْتَ فَعَلَتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ. Like, aren't you that same guy who did, remember? Yeah, I remember. You did what you did before a long time ago? And now you want to come and you want to call me to Allah? Like, give me a break, Musa. Like, you're trying to call me to Allah? And Musa alayhi salam said, he says, فَعَلْتُهَا إِذَنْ وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِينَ. Yes, I did what I did before, and I'm not proud about it. I mean, I did that accidentally. وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِينَ. Like I was astray. I did not realize. I never knew my own strength at that time. He says, فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ. And I ran because I was afraid of what you're going to do to me. فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ وَجَعَلْ لِي لِسَانَ صِدْقٍ فِي الْآخِرِينَ وَجَعَلْ لِي مِنْ وَرَثَةِ جَنَّةِ النَّعِيمِ. So this is Musa alayhi salam saying that, yeah, I did what I did, but because I was afraid and I had no idea what to do. But now today I'm here to you. I'm coming to you. So Fir'aun is like, okay, fine, what do you want? He says, well, I'm the Prophet of Allah. And I'm inviting you and I'm telling you that first of all, what you're doing with the Israelites, this is wrong. And I'm telling you to send them with me. Free them. Let them come with me. And not only that, but you need to stop calling people to worship you. You need to stop telling people to worship you. And you, Fir'aun, you need to start worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he's thinking to himself like, oh really? You want me now? First of all, you're the one who did the wrong. And after all these years, remember he had a job for 10 years? So after all these years, now you come to me and you're telling me to send Bani Israel with you. And not only that, you want me to worship Allah? Like he's telling, like Fir'aun is like, this is a joke. Like how can you tell me to do this? And then that is when Musa alayhi salam says, listen, I am truly a prophet of Allah. And if you want any proof, I can show you my miracles. So he goes, okay, show me your miracles. Let's see what you have. So Musa alayhi salam took out his stick. Okay, he took out his stick and he took his stick and he put it on the floor. And as soon as he puts it on the floor, it turns into a serpent, a big snake. And it's moving very quickly. And Fir'aun is like, oh, so you're just a magician. And he goes, no, I'm not a magician. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave me this. I never learned this. I never wanted this. Allah gave it to me. So that's why I have it. And then he took out his hand also and he shows him, look, this is also a miracle given to me by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Fir'aun was like, you know what? If you really want to do this, if you think you are a magician, guess what? I have so many magicians in Egypt. And if you think that you can come and scare me with this magic, then you know what? Let's have a battle. You bring your serpent and I'll bring all my magicians and they're going to bring their serpents and we will see what happens. And it is mentioned that Fir'aun made a big announcement. Oh people, I'm inviting all of you people of Egypt to come and see this battle of the snakes. Okay? I'm going to show you that I have magicians and Musa thinks he's a greater magician. Although once again, children, it was not magic. It was a miracle. It was a mu'jiza from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So then they all came together and the crowd is watching and the people are watching and they want to see what's going to happen. And at that time, the duel and the battle takes place between Musa and the magicians. Now what happens in that duel and what happens in that battle of the snakes and so forth, inshallah, I'll tell all of you in our next segment. Okay? So, but once again, remember that from the story of Musa alayhi salam, once again, Musa alayhi salam is made a prophet. He hears a voice, he sees a fire, he hears a voice, okay, that Allah has made him a prophet. And now when he's a prophet, he has a responsibility to do. And that's important for all of us to remember. Why? Because you and I, we all have responsibilities too, right? Like, I'm a father, I have responsibilities. Okay? A mother has responsibilities. You children, you also have responsibilities too, right? So just like Allah told Musa that I'm expecting some things from you, you have to do some certain things, parents also tell you the same thing too. That since you are their son and their daughter, that's why you have to do some certain things for them. So this is why I want you all to remember that whatever responsibilities that you have, make sure you take care of them. Okay? Once again, we finish where? That there's a battle that's about to start between the sticks and the snakes. And inshallah, we'll talk about that next time. And what happens in that battle? Musa alayhi salam versus the magicians. We'll talk about that in our next segment, inshallah. That will be Musa part 4. So I hope to see all of you next time, inshallah. Once again, I want you all to be great children. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتات والصادقين والصادقات والصابرين والصابرات والخاشعين والخاشعات والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم والحافظات والذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما.